your career report. What you want to do is first thing when you log on the computer, go under Graphic Arts 1, go under Students, your period, under your name, and if you already don't have a folder, you want to right click, make a new folder. You want to call it Career Report. You want to keep everything organized in your folder so you can figure out where everything is later. Under Career Report, that's where you're going to save all your information and your design. Then if you go to Schoology and log in, we're doing Unit 2, Chapter 2, which is Graphic Communication Careers. You've got the book and Prezi or a PowerPoint. You have your learning assignments. You should have downloaded Graphic Communication Careers Project. When you click on it, using the Prezi or the book, you want to answer the questions on this sheet. It will open up in Adobe, and you can see there are different positions from creative to management to technical, skilled. From those positions, you're choosing one of those positions to actually do your career report on. So step 2, you choose one from step 1, and you're going to make either a poster or a flyer. I'm going to take out brochure for this one. So again, on Schoology, if you click on Career Cruising, it should open up into another folder or another tab. The username is Matt Toon and the password's Greenwave, and you want to sign in. Once you sign in, you go under Careers, 16 career clusters, Arts, AV, and Technology and Communication, related careers. You should be able to find your career here. It might not be the exact word. So like one of them was copywriter on our Schoology. If you go up here to creative, you've got a writer. Well, if you go under related careers, the third one down is an advertising copywriter. So they are a writer. They write for television, radio, newspaper. So you can use that one for that. The one that I'm going to do, one of my favorites, graphic designer, because that's what I was. So you've got illustrators if you want. There's a whole bunch of different, whoop, I passed it by. It's in alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You click on graphic designer. This has all the information that you need to add onto your flyer or report. It also has pictures if you want to use the pictures. So for this program, or for this project, we are using a new program called Adobe InDesign, which is ID. You need to add the job description. Now it gives me a whole page. All I need is a summary. Working conditions gives me all this. All I need is a summary. Earnings. For the earnings, I want entry, median, and experienced wage. So it shows you hourly and annual. You can just get it like that. And education needed. So if I'm doing related college programs, you can see what you can do in high school to go for it. And then it says education and training needed. So if you do, it's a related college, you click on it, and there's colleges that have actually graphic design. So you need actually an associate's bachelor's degree for graphic design. Once you finish that, what we're going to do is we are going to cite our source. So right now I'm going to get some pictures while Adobe InDesign is opening up. I thought I opened it up. It's open. Okay. So it won't let me take this because it's a slideshow, but I can actually take a picture of this or a screenshot. If you do Shift Command 4, then I can take a picture of just that, and it goes right on my desktop. So I do Shift Command 4, and I can take a picture of just part of it. Shift Command 4. You can use whatever pictures you want. I'm just taking pictures of some of these. Let's see, one of the ones I want. There's a good one. Shift Command 4. Okay, so all those pictures should be on your desktop. You want to drag those from your desktop into your Career Report folder on the Graphic Arts 1 server. That way you can use those in your design. Okay, for my design, you can either do a flyer or you can do a poster. I think we're going to take brochure off the table. I think it's too much for you right now until you get a little bit more comfortable with the programs. Adobe InDesign is very much like Adobe Illustrator. It has a lot of the same tools. So when you first open up InDesign, if it's not already open, you want to go under File, New, Document, or it also should say it right up here. It's still opening up. Okay, so it's open a new document, create new document. You want to make sure it is in inches. So once it lets me see this, I might have a little too many programs open. Okay, so see right now it says units are picas. That's another unit of measure. We're going to switch it to inches. If you're doing a flyer, it can be 8.5 by 11. It can either be landscape or portrait. Or you can do a poster, which is 18 by 24. Again, you can either do landscape or portrait. So first I'm going to take and I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do 8.5 by 11, which is a normal sheet of paper. So for the flyer, I'm going to do portrait, turn facing pages off, and add a 1/4 inch margin. So your margin might be at 5, you want a 1/4 of an inch, a 1/4 of an inch is 1/4, 0.25, and then hit create. As opposed to Illustrator, which is an illustration program just for vector art, Adobe InDesign is a desktop publishing program. It allows you to put graphics and text together in a document, and it can even do multi-page, like for books. Alright, so if your tools are not shown here, all your tools are under Windows. If your control panel up here isn't showing, it is also under Windows. So you've got your control panel and tools. First thing I want to do, maybe I want to put a background in. So as you notice, you still have the selection tool, direct selection tool, the type tool, and your rectangle frame tool. So I'm going to click on the rectangle frame tool and draw a background for my box. Currently, it has no fill and no stroke. So if I want to fill it with a color, I can choose just the color it has here. Or if you go on the upper right, this little thing that looks like a 3 hamburger, you can make a new color swatch. Okay, and you may choose different colors you want to use. If you go to Pantone Solid Coated, this gives you every Pantone or spot color that was in that little Pantone book I had before. So if you don't see a color you like, you should be able to find one and add it to it. Okay, I think red is a little too much. I kind of like the green. Okay, next you're going to use your type tool, but instead of just clicking and typing, you're going to make a type box. So you click and drag to make your type box, and then you want to label what job you are talking about or reporting about. So graphic designer. Up here on the top you have your type, and you can choose whatever type classification you want. You can make it bigger right here. It shows you point size. Currently I've got a small. You definitely want it headline. And you can do centered, flush left, flush right, whatever formatting you would like. So I'm putting graphic designer nice and big. Okay, and then I can add the pictures. If I go File, Place, in my folder on the server, I gotta wait for it to show up. There's my pictures. I can open one up and click. Now if I don't like the size of the box, I can scale the box. Make sure you hold the Shift key when you scale. And so I'm going to do 4 different boxes about that size, but I want a stroke around them. So right now I don't have a stroke. I'm going to add black, and we'll go a couple points. Now if you notice, when I shrank the box, it didn't shrink the picture. Up on the control panel, there's one box that says Fit Content Proportionally. If you click on it, it'll fit the image to the area. Now to duplicate the box, you can just hold the Option key, and you can duplicate the box. I'm holding the Shift key and selecting both boxes and duplicating them both. So I'm going to have 4 pictures. So I want to, I'm going to replace this one, but I'm going to get rid of the images on there. I think I'll keep that one there. So on this box, I've got it selected with the selection tool. I go under File, Place, Apple D, find the next picture I'd like to use. I think that one looks good. Click on the box, File, Place, find the picture that you want to use, open, Make sure you fit content proportionately to it. File, place, find all your pictures you want to put in there. You can use one, you can use more than one. It's up to you. Okay? So it shows some pictures of graphic designers. The other thing you can do, you want to put down what's the description. So instead of me retyping, I like that typeface for my headers, but I'm going to make it a subheader. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key to duplicate it. And then I'm going to scale it down. I don't want it that big. I'm holding the Shift and the Command key to make it smaller. So now it's more of a subheader. And then this one's going to say job description. And then I hit return. Gotta make the box a little bigger. Now if I type the job description below, I'm going to put description here. But I don't want it to be in this typeface. I want it to be in a text or book or text font phase. So I'm going to change it from Comica. I'm going to just do Arial Regular. And I'm going to make it a lot smaller. It only has to be text size, which is 12 point or less. And then I'm going to make the 12 point. That's what I wanted. So you're going to put the direct description here. Now it gives me a full description on career cruising. Give a couple sentences to describe it. Maybe 2 or 3. Depends on what it is. Alright, so that's my job description there. When I'm finished, maybe I want to duplicate that. So hold down the Option key. And then I'm going to put working conditions. So I highlight it. Working conditions. Now my box wasn't big enough, so I have to make my box a little bigger so it doesn't have hyphens. Try to avoid hyphens in your design. It kind of distracts from the design look. Look under working conditions. It says they can work for, and you can do it like this. Bullet point that if you like. Paraphrase. So I want working conditions here. And it might be a couple paragraphs or a couple sentences, not too much. To get rid of hyphens, if you click in front of the word, you can do a Shift return and it puts it on the next page or next line. Okay, so I've got job description, working conditions. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to put earnings there and education there. So this is going to be earnings and this is going to be education. Earnings, you want to put down entry, median, advanced, hourly, if they have it, / yearly. Over here, education needed. Okay, so you can lay it out any way you want. I made mine symmetrical, so it means that it's the same. If I fold it in half vertically, it's the same left to right. You can space it out. You can make your pictures bigger if you'd like. I mean, you've got all the space to use. And so what I might do is I might move these over, holding the Shift key, select all the pictures, and then I'm scaling it larger. So it takes up a little bit more room. Whoop. Hold the Shift key, you can select multiple objects, and then you can move it where you want. Okay, so I'm going to move these up. And then my last thing I want to do, I'm going to add a QR code. But before I do that, I'm going to save. You're going to go File, Save As. I'm going to call it Career Report. Make sure you add your initials afterwards. You want to make sure it's a unique name every time. This time you might be marked down if you do not make sure it's a unique name, so make sure you do that before you save it in your folder on the server under Career Report. Why? If everybody called a career report and for some reason somebody in another period saved it, they might have saved over your design. So you might want to make sure you've got that covered, okay? Next, I'll go back to where I'm at with Career Report. I click here on the top, which is the URL bar. I want to copy it, Command C. And then I want to go to a new website, so I'm under File, New, and you're going to go to visuallead.com. If you don't have an account, you want to sign up for an account. Of course, I have an account. So you get 3 free before you have to pay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new QR code. So I'm going to click there. And it's a website that I'm going to. So I want to click on the website QR code. And I want to paste it, Apple V here. And then it should show Career Cruising. Then when you go to the next, it's going to say, do you want to pay for it or get the... Oh, it's going to ask you to upload the image. You can put an image in the back of your QR code. So there's a plethora of different images you can choose from. I like the one that says I for information. It makes sense. It's going to have information. And then I'm going to create my QR code. Now once you do, you're going to hit the next button to finish it. Mine automatically saves it. Yours is going to say go for a free account. Click on free account and you'll have 3 that you can do. Once you get it, you want to download it. It's going to go into your downloads folder. And then once you download it, all you have to do is drag it from downloads into your folder on the server. There's my visual QR code. So I click on it, drag it into my folder. Then again, it's just like a picture, so all you're doing is adding a picture in here. You go File, Place. Oh, I don't want that. You gotta wait for it to go File. And Place. Find your QR code. Insert it where you want it. You might have to scale it down. Remember, when you scale down the box, you have to go up here to fit content proportionately. You always want to make sure your images are proportionate, your type is formatted consistently, and you usually only use 2 different typefaces on a document. Once you're finished, you want to save it, then print it, proofread it. So the proofreading is Command I. So I'm going to, description is spelled wrong, click and change all. And then entry, they want it capitalized, I'm done with that. So I only had one misspell, so I'm going to save again. Print it to the color cube. You always want to print it just so you can proofread it. Once you print it, proofread it, if it looks good, then you're going to go under File, Adobe PDF Presets, and make a high quality print PDF. Okay. You want to upload your PDF only to Schoology along with the assignment 1, which was all the questions answered. And that's how you make your flyer or poster.